Hey, hello everybody. It must be budget season. Sorry we're starting a little late, a lot going on. We are going to call to order the City Council meeting for the morning of June 6th. Tony, would you please call the roll?
Jimenez,
Present.
Torres,
Present.
Cohen,
Here.
Ortiz,
Present.
Davis,
Here.
Doan,
Present.
Candelas,
Present.
Foley,
Here.
Batra,
Present.
Kamei,
Here.
Mahan.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, if you're able, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
Thank you. Today's invocation and our ceremonial items will be heard at 1:30. I'd like to now go to orders of the day and ask my colleagues if anyone has any suggested changes to the printed agenda. Councilmember Davis?
Mayor, I'd like to defer items 4.1 and 4.2, so I would like to make a motion to do that.
Second.
Great, thank you. Any other recommended changes? Okay, let's vote on the motion.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Torres,
Yes.
Cohen,
Aye.
Ortiz,
Aye.
Davis,
Yes.
Doan,
Aye.
Candelas,
Aye.
Foley,
Aye.
Batra,
Yes.
Kamei,
Aye.
Mahan.
Aye. I think we can use the screen, right, going forward?
Yes, I
Because we're all
totally
here?
forgot.
Yeah, no problem. Just in the interest of time. Thank you. Okay, so that passes. We're on to the consent calendar. Are there any items that council would like to pull from consent? Okay, seeing none, why don't we go to public comment?
Hold on just a second. I've got Juvenile and Lucy.
Could you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Lucy Valencia and I'm part of a resident in District 2. And I was just calling to voice my concern about the recommended site that's going to be approved by the council for the Burnell and Highway 101 backup sites.
I'm sorry, this is not on the consent calendar specifically. I think you're speaking on an item that will be on the agenda a little bit later in the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Back to council.
Okay, great. Do we have a motion on the consent calendar?
Move approval.
Sorry, I missed the second.
Second.
Councilmember Dewan, thank you. Okay, let's vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, so we're on to item 9.1, which was agendized to be heard immediately after consent. This is the successor agency to the San José Redevelopment Agency. We have an administrative budget and annual recognized obligation payment schedule. Do we have a presentation? I don't believe we do. Okay. Why don't we go to public comment?
I have no public comment for this item.
Okay, back to the council. Do we have a motion?
Motion for approval.
Second.
Great, thank you. Let's vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Great, thank you, Tony. Okay, thank you all. We are on to item 3.1, report of the city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report today.
Okay, thank you. And now on to item 3.3, the employee travel expenses audit report. Let's, don't see a, sorry, Joe, are you giving a presentation?
Just a verbal.
A A verbal one?
Just a verbal presentation.
Yeah, go ahead, thank you.
Good afternoon, Joe Royce, City Auditor. I'm here with Abela Obi and Adrian Perez from my office to present our employee travel expense audit. Additional training can enhance compliance with city's travel policy. Also in the box is Luis Cafrezi Howe from the city's finance department. City staff travel for various work-related reasons, such as for training, conferences, or representing the city on city business. City's employee travel policy provides the guidance for authorization of employee travel, as well as reimbursement and payment of travel expenses. Prior to COVID, annual employee travel expenses exceeded $1 million annually, and it fell quite a bit during COVID as expected, but has since begun to come back. In fiscal year 21-22, travel expenses totaled over $529,000. Some departments travel more than others. In fiscal year 21-22, 3 departments, the police department, the airport, and the fire department, made up 55% of travel expenses overall. The objective of this audit was to review employee travel for appropriateness and compliance with city policy. This is the 4th in a series of audits from my office that has been conducted on travel expenses in the last 15 years. We had just one finding. Travel expenses generally complied with the city's travel policy, but additional training may be necessary. So there are several layers of approval for travel requests and reimbursement, with both department travel and procurement card or P card coordinators, as well as the finance department staff ensuring travel is appropriate and complies with city policy. We did note some exceptions during our review that call for additional training. For example, we noted that departments did not always provide all required supporting documentation for travel expenses. In our sample of employee travel reimbursements, we noted travel packets were missing some documentation, travel statements were not always complete. In addition, we noted there are other areas where the administration should clarify expectations for staff. These include travel purchased through a procurement card or a P card, expectations for economical travel, timeliness of travel packet submissions, and others. We had just one recommendation to ensure employee travel complies with the city's travel policy. Administration should require that department travel and procurement card coordinators complete mandatory training on the travel policy and associated processes. I do want to point out that the finance department does provide an annual training on the travel process. However, it has not been mandatory, and they have to date not tracked attendance. Also, because of turnover, several travel coordinators with whom we spoke during the audit were fairly new to their positions, and it's not clear whether they had received that training. So I do, again, just reiterate that there's one recommendation. We want to thank the Finance Department, City Manager's Office, City Attorney's Office, and Department travel coordinators for their time and insight during the audit process. The administration has reviewed the information report, and their response is shown on the yellow pages. I ask that you accept the report, and we're happy to answer any questions. However, first I'll turn it over to Luce for the administration response.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, council members, and members of the public. My name is Luis Cafrezi Howe. I'm the Assistant Director of Finance for the department. The Finance Department thanks the City Auditor and his team for working with us on this audit. The audit was conducted fairly, efficiently, and professionally, and the audit recommendation is reasonable. Overall, the Finance Department is satisfied with the results of the audit and agrees with the one recommendation to broaden the audience and frequency of travel expense training. Going forward, we will include procurement card or P card coordinators in the annual training and ensure that new travel and P card coordinators are completely trained once they assume those roles. That training will be mandatory and it will be tracked. Our full response, as Joe has noted, is at the end of the report in yellow pages. I will also share that the Finance Department is completing user acceptance testing on a business process automation project to move the pre-travel step where employees submit travel request forms to an online workflow by the end of this month, which is June 2023. We will then develop and implement the post-travel step, which is the travel reimbursement process, with an anticipated go line for that business process automation project before the end of this calendar year, December 2023. With that, once again, I give our thanks to the City Auditor and everyone else and all the departments that have supported this audit. As always, we're available for questions at your pleasure.
Great, thank you both. Appreciate the audit report and the administration's response. We'll go to public comment.
I have no public comment for this item.
Okay, back to the council. Do we have any
Move.
hands?
Move to accept the audit.
Second.
Great. Let's vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next I'd like to take items 3.4, 3.5, and 3.6 together. We will, depending on the motion, the intent here is to adopt resolutions approving the terms of agreements with each of the three bargaining units here as agendized. That's POPRA, the SJPDA, and ABMEI. I just want to say, and I'll turn it over to our city manager in a moment as well to make a few comments. I really appreciate the open and collaborative spirit with which our team, the team from representing the city, was able to work with the bargaining units to get to fair agreements that give workers a fair raise while also being fair to our residents and ensuring that we are able to continue to provide the array of key city services that we are responsible for. I think these are really great agreements. They give us some certainty and stability and allow us to balance the many needs that we have as a city. So I just want to thank the bargaining units for their collaborative and open engagement. And I'll turn it over to our city manager to say a bit more.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mayor. So I couldn't agree more with your statements, and we are very pleased that we reached agreements with these three bargaining units. The teams work together quickly, very collaboratively, and we believe that they each contain items that are important to both parties. I'd like to do some thank yous. For the Peace Officer Park Ranger Association, otherwise known as POPRA, I would like to thank their negotiating team for the time and effort that they put into these negotiations, and that includes Jeremy Kabakang, who's their business representative, Alex Harada, Park Ranger, and Danny Nguyen, a Park Ranger. And also like to thank the city's negotiating team, Avi Yodam, Jennifer Shembry, and Sarah Steele. For the San Jose Police Dispatchers Association, this was the first contract that we negotiated with this new union representing police dispatchers, and it went quite smoothly and very well. I really want to thank that negotiating team as well, which included Mary Tomlinson, their president, Leonardo Silvera, the secretary, Delfina Gallardo, the treasurer, Tom Sagow, the labor negotiator for them, and Greg Adam, their attorney. I also like to thank the city's negotiating team, Jennifer Shembry, Deputy Chief Heather Randall, and Julianne Misha Shiro. And then finally, but not least, our Association of Building, Mechanical, and Electrical Inspectors, known as ABMEI. I'd like to thank Sean Moresco, our Senior Building Inspector, John Van Every, Senior Building Inspector, and Gary Myra, Building Inspector, and also thank the city's negotiating team on that one, which is Jennifer Shembry, Lisa Joyner, Carolyn Gibson, and Ilana Placencia. So I want to thank them all very sincerely and look forward to council's review and approval of these agreements.
Great. Thank you. And yes, Jennifer, thank you for all your work, and you and the whole team. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's go to public comment.
Okay, here in person, I have Laura Lopez and Mary Tomlinson. And you can both come down, first one to the microphone, just start speaking.
Good morning, good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Thank you for having us here today. My name is Laura Lopez, and I am a senior police dispatcher over at Police Communications, and I've been a city employee here for over 20 years and a resident here. It's exciting to have a new union. It's the first time. I didn't think we'd ever see this, so this is a big deal for us. We are urging you to give us a yes and vote on our contract. We negotiated this inaugural contract with the city from scratch. We negotiated in good faith with the city, and as a result, it's a fair deal, and that is all we can ever ask for. The city team delivered on every information request we asked for. They were collaborative on both sides, and everyone conducted themselves in a manner that was respectful and focused on problem solving. We are a new union that will be focused on improving our public safety infrastructure, and we look forward to partnering with the city in the future to do just that. We are urging a vote on our tentative agreement, and there is 141 incredible people taking care of this city and the officers that protect all of us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. I'm Mary Tomlinson. I'm president of the newly formed San Jose Police Dispatchers Association. I currently work as a police radio dispatcher, and I've been with the city for 6.5 years. Our association ratified the agreement, the tentative agreement, before you today by an overwhelming 97%, and we urge you to adopt our first contract as a new union. I want to personally commend and thank your lead labor negotiator and her team for their honest, transparent, and collaborative approach during our negotiations. We were able to work together to reach a fair and amicable resolution that is before you today. Thank you.
Thank you both, and thank you for your service to the city, and congratulations on having a new union. Appreciate how the process has played out. Thanks so much. Do we have online
Blair?
comment?
Oh, he just put his hand down. Oh, he put it back up. So Blair?
I was going to comment on this item and then I put my hand down. Sorry for the confusion.
Okay, back to council.
Great, thank you. Councilor Torres?
Yes, like to approve
Hold on.
items.
Zoom, I accidentally closed Zoom when I closed something, so we need to pause while I restart it.
Sure. While
Okay,
I have never done that in
that's
3
okay.
years
You
of
take your time
this.
logging back in. We will just pause the meeting
It's-
for a moment.
Mayor, I can motion to
It's
approve
back
all
on.
3 items, right?
I'd like to wait to make sure the public can hear your motion. Are you back on?
We're back on, and the attendees are filtering back in.
Okay, let's give it another few seconds.
We're up to 10 attendees back in, 12, so I apologize for that.
Okay, no, that's okay. Okay, go ahead, Councilmember.
Motion to move to support items 3.4, 3.5,
Vamos a apoyar
3.6.
3.4, 3.5, 3.6, segundo.
Sorry, I have to get that started.
All right,
Now he's switched over.
at least we know the translation's working.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you, Councilmember, and I did hear a second. I apologize. Who was that? Oh, it was Councilmember Dwan. Okay, thank you. Okay, I don't see any other hands. Let's vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Great, and Tony, we were voting on all of them as a group,
Yes.
meaning that we've adopted resolutions approving the terms of agreements for all 3 of those unions, and
Yes.
that's items 3.4, 3.5, and 3.6.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, we have a couple deferred items. Apologies, let me just find our next item here. We are on to item 5.1. And I do not see a staff presentation, so we'll go to public comment.
Okay, so this is public comment on item 5.1. I have Blair.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. What happened to the item 4 point items? I was interested in talking about those possibly. This is about taxiway 5 phase project for the airport. I guess just, the previous administration had pollution policies going on about the taxi runway and airport issues. Good luck how we're addressing those sort of things, and wanting to be concerned about green environmental issues besides just considering fast pass streamlining ideas for airport issues like this. Thank you.
Back to the council.
Thank you.
Move approval.
Second. Thank you. Let's vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, we're on to item 6.1, sewer service and use charges and storm sewer service charge rates. No presentation, we'll go to public comment.
Blair?
Hi, Blair Beekman here. I guess it's become my regular speech at this time, but it can be helpful just to hear things over and over again. You're receiving a lot of federal dollars at this time for these sewer projects and stormwater issues. It's helpful. I'm hoping, as I learned yesterday at Transportation Committee, that it's going to be helpful for yourselves to be able to speak to sea level rise issues in North San Jose easier at this time, with just the practicalities of so much new federal funding dollars coming in for these stormwater issues. These are issues that are happening all around the state at this time, these federal funding dollars. Good luck in San Jose, how we can use these dollars to not be like heavily towards law enforcement practices. I think that's the thing we have to consider and be honest and open in those conversations. And good luck with the housing department team and Jackie and everyone trying to really work on talking and communicating with all the people around the creek areas that will be affected by these new stormwater issues. Thank you.
Back to the council.
Thank you. Don't see any hands.
Move approval.
Great, let's vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you all. We then have a few items that have been agendized for 1:30, so we will go down to item 8.3, which has to do with the transfer of affordability restrictions for the Pacific Motor Inn property. I don't see a staff presentation in my notes, but Nancy is available for questions. Let's go to public comment first.
Blair?
Hi, Blair Beekman again. Once again, just a usual public comment from myself that as important as these sort of home key projects are, I think this is a home key project. It's really interesting work and helpful work to be able as a community and city government to practice the basics in housing needs and understandings. That has to be really important also. And when we do that well, what Kip likes to say is back to the basics. Is that what he said? But that's a saying, I think, back to, if we turn to the basics and just practice the basics, things become easier. And I think we have funding available to practice the basics more easy at this time. Are we going to want to address how to fund a larger housing department to follow services for people from beginning to end?
This is specific to the Pacific Motor Inn and the affordability restrictions.
I was thinking this was something of the home key project things. I think I'll stop now and just, I think you know how I feel about this subject matter. Good luck in practicing good basic stuff. Thanks.
Back to council.
Great, thank you. Okay, let's go to Councilmember Batra.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to talk about this project because the topic looks pretty uninteresting, transfer affordability restrictions for the Pacific Motor Inn, but there's a lot underneath. So I'd like Nancy to come and explain a little bit about the real significance of what we are doing here in terms of this project, okay? And
Mayor, Councilmember Batcha, thank you very much for the question. Nancy Klein, Office of Economic Development, Cultural Affairs. The project is significant, and thank you. It accomplishes many goals. One, when completed, it will include supportive housing with very high-end housing adjacent to it. So true mixed income overall project. It also has direct engagement of a private developer who is supporting the project and investing in the project. It also represents the possibility of additional partnership between the developer and the housing department on a lease that the council already approved, if for whatever reason the PATH project was not successful. So the other last thing to mention is this will take 72 units of a hotel, supportive housing, and turn it into 500 units. The supportive housing building will be roughly 140 units, and the immediately adjacent building of market rate will be 350, and that's immediately adjacent to the Boattown West Bank project that is 540 units. The plan is for the Boattown piece to be under development, under construction in August. So there's a lot of good things to like about the project.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. So this is looks like something very tiny we are doing, but it's 1,000 units project, which has got the interim housing, it has the affordable housing, and it has market rate housing. All of those which we need very dearly and very quickly. And it's a very creative plan. Underneath, there are a lot of structures which have gone. So I had a chance to learn about that one from Rachel and Nancy. And I want to congratulate you for doing this creative piece of work. And I move the motion to accept the recommendation.
Second.
Second.
Great. Thank you. I couldn't agree more. And I'm going to now turn to Councilor Torres, who I really want to thank for being very engaged. This project obviously is in his district, and he's been very helpful throughout the process as we've been working with city staff to navigate some of the complexities involved. Go ahead, Councilmember.
No, I'm just going to echo what Councilmember Batra said. This is a very important project, especially when we're dealing with the unhoused crisis that we have and the affordability crisis that we have. So I hope that this project can move forward. So.
Thank you, and thanks for your work on this. I appreciate it. Okay, great. I think, Councilor Dwan, did you also want to comment?
Yes, I think I feel this is a win for affordable housing and creating more market rate housing for the needed, our community needed the extra housing. Don't you agree that there's a benefit on both sides there, Nancy?
We just say yes, but
perfect.
Yeah, it's both sides for sure.
All right, thank you.
Great, thank you. Let's vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Great, thank you. Okay, next we're going to take items 8.4 and 8.5 concurrently. These are the last two items we will hear before our 1:30 session.
Mayor, if I may ask that we break for lunch at this time and reconvene at 1:30 because of the scope of this presentation. I wouldn't want to break up the presentation by the public comment and then have us come back and discuss it.
Okay, do others have comments on that? Okay, sounds like there is some consensus to take this up when we won't take it up immediately at 1:30. We have ceremonial items, invocation, we have some other things to, I also neglected to get to. In fact, maybe we can quickly knock out, if Nora has anything to report out, at least cross that one off the list. But unless I hear otherwise, we will, after that, break and come back at 1:30. I'm sorry, Vice Mayor?
No, I was just going to mention, if there's someone here for this particular item who perhaps cannot come back, maybe we want them to speak. I don't know if you got speaker cards.
I mean, in
someone
that
is-
case, we would be, and I do see we have someone here,
Yeah.
we would be here, we would be beginning the item and taking public comment, and then we would break. We wouldn't have to complete the item by, there's no rule that says we have to complete the item by 12:45.
Just so that they wouldn't have to, you know,
Yeah.
go and come back. and-
I'm
I don't
inclined
know.
to start public comment, if others are okay with that. Great. And maybe, to Councilmember Foley's point, maybe we can begin public comment and recess before closing it, if we think others will want to comment on the item at 1:30. That works? It's a little confusing, though, if we're coming back with ceremonial items. I think the point the Vice Mayor was making is the concern about public comment.
Would you be taking the public comment online as well? Because I have several hands up.
Yeah. We do have, this was agendized to be taken up as soon as it came up, and we do have people waiting to speak, so I'm inclined to not make folks wait a couple hours to do that. Is that okay? What's that? We won't get through all the public comments, so let's go ahead and begin it. Okay, then we will take up the item, and there is a staff presentation. So we'll start there, we'll begin public comment, and then we will likely at that point pause public comment to break for lunch, and then resume. Okay, so Omar, when you and the team are ready, feel free to jump in.
I've never asked anybody to bring me.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're just going to go ahead and get situated. Good morning, maybe afternoon, Mayor and Council, members of the public. My name is Omar Passons, Deputy City Manager, City of San Jose. We are, give me just 1 second to. We'll get started just as soon as we click through. Just having a little technical difficulty. Okay. Okay, good afternoon. There we go. Understanding the big picture. So we're here to talk about this. This item involves supportive parking and emergency interim housing. Understanding the big picture. I apologize. I'm joined here today by my colleagues, Jackie Morales-Ferran, Director of the Housing Department, Kevin Ice with the Office of Economic Development, and Jim Orpal, the Director of Special Projects for the City Manager's Office. Okay, so understanding the big picture will help put this item in context before we move on. This is about sort of urgent support for people who are living on the streets and to improve our communities for everyone. The Mayor and Council have been explicit in the direction that our charge is to provide more solutions for getting people off the street in more parts of the city. Today's presentation combines approval sought for more emergency interim housing communities that we know are showing progress with testing new approaches that leverage private support, that protect the environment and that decrease barriers and make it easier for unhoused people to access. It also calls for important supportive alternatives for people who are living in RVs. This work is part of a continuum that includes the city's and other regional partners' efforts around prevention and permanent housing. Today's efforts are, for many, the first step in that continuum. Staff has prioritized listening to people whose experience make them the most knowledgeable, the true experts, those people who live with homelessness, that experience. That includes organizations and also includes going directly to people currently living on our streets. As we turn to the presentation, it is important for the Mayor and Council and the public to understand that these efforts are not as simple as just putting up a fence around a parking lot or hiring a contractor to build a standard home. 9 departments and dozens of staff must coordinate, work with external agencies, incorporate input from a wide variety of stakeholders, and listen to the community. This work requires interdisciplinary teams, ongoing thoughtful collaboration, and the help of partners from Valley Water, Caltrans, the county, the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, and many others. With this background, let's turn to the presentation. Just to ground, we had some additional information come in. The homeless census data was revealed last month and showed a nearly 11% reduction in unsheltered homelessness from the prior year, which is a result of the combined efforts of many partners, including the work that you'll hear about today. However, this slide shows there's still a massive amount of need. And as we pivot, because we're talking about RVs, anyone can see that there is a substantial need for alternatives on our streets, and our city staff has conducted a partial assessment and determined that at least 400 RVs are on our city streets right now. Many of these RVs are owned by people who also have personal vehicles. Without adequate ways to dispose of waste, to prepare food, and to remain safe, these on-street locations are not healthy for people living in RVs, nor are they healthy for neighborhoods where they are located. Now that we understand the issues around the scale of the issue, I'm going to turn it over to the city's housing director, Jackie Morales-Ferrand, to explain more about the proposed options and what they provide. Jackie?
Thank you, Omar. I'm Jackie Morales-Ferrand, and I'm the Director of Housing. All right. And the first slide is just covering what are emergency interim housing communities. The city of San Jose, along with the county, the state, and the federal government, all reinforce a housing first approach. So ideally, what we would like to do is to move people off the streets as quickly as possible into a permanent home. However, as you all know, there's a challenge in finding available housing for everyone, and as a result, we need to find a better balance on how much shelter we're offering in comparison to the amount of housing we're building. So our interim housing communities really act as a shelter for people until they can find a permanent housing solution. It gets them out of the encampments and again helps them. The primary goal of San Jose's shelters that we're funding and overseeing is really to transition people into permanent homes. The model has evolved. So when the housing department first started this work, we did cabins, which did not have bathrooms. They were small individual rooms with shared bathrooms and kitchens. We have evolved into this modular example that you can see here, where people have individual private bathrooms and showers, and they have shared kitchen and laundry. We have seen a much greater rate of participation for people when we have the bathrooms in the facilities versus the original model. And so people are willing to say yes to our new interim housing sites. In addition to that, we believe that providing services is critical to the success of these facilities. And so all the facilities that San Jose funds right now comes with robust case management and support, because again, the goal is to get them back into a permanent facility. And we have found by providing the case management, the success rates for our shelters remain higher than the standard. As you can see, this slide shows the success of the emergency interim housing. So close to 1,400 people have gone through since June 1st. 50% have exited to permanent housing, and what's important there is I believe the countywide standard is 30%, and so we're doing a much better job in these facilities into getting people into permanent homes. And I just want to be clear, a permanent home can mean something in the market, can mean shared housing, can mean the person goes off and is reunited with their relatives. It's not just getting placed into an affordable home that the city of San Jose is invested in. It is a full spectrum of housing choices. 19% exited into temporary housing, and while that's not considered a success from our COC, from the housing department's perspective, the fact that the person didn't go back into the streets is what we considered successful. We're still able to hold them within the system with a goal to ultimately get them back into housing. safe parking, at least what we've been focused on lately, is really RV safe parking. The Housing Department did initiate a safe parking, car parking program, I would say 4 or 5 years ago. We had them in our community centers, and now we are moving towards facilities that we can keep open for 24/7. The previous version of safe parking that we did, they were only overnight facilities, and what we found was unsuccessful is that then people had to go back into the neighborhoods. So having a 24/7 facility where people can stay the entire time, we believe, provides a greater response and meets more people's needs if they can stay on the site. So as our interim housing sites, these facilities will also have case management, they'll have support. As with the majority of our sites, there's only one site that has a time limitation, and that's because of the lease with the provider. But any other site, the resident gets to stay there until we're able to work out a housing plan. So there are policies to ensure that people are good neighbors, that everyone signs, and as you can see, we have quiet hours between 10 and 7 a.m.
So, as mentioned, the mayor and council have directed a citywide approach. This approach is equitable for 2 reasons. First, it helps people who need these supports have them in the community where they live, where they are experiencing homelessness. Second, it enables residents of all the council districts to participate in supporting this critical resource. And this map, for orientation, it demonstrates, as of the housing inventory count, a federally required document maintained by the continuum of care, where the bulk of all of our emergency and interim and transitional assets in the city of San Jose are currently. What we did with this next slide is actually take it a step further. I will just note there's one sort of clerical error in the note on the next slide, but this does represent the accurate sort of proportions and percentages, not just of existing emergency and transitional and interim housing, but also the items that are in the pipeline that are either in construction or in design, so we know they're coming. And we wanted to provide this information because, taken together with the last slide, one of the things that you see is that the majority of resources for people who need an emergency place to stay are in the middle or in the central San Jose, in districts 3, 6, and 7. There are obviously resources, and hopefully more coming, frankly, to help deal with the crisis in other parts of our city, but just to share this context for folks. Now I'd like to pass it to Jim Ortball, who will share a little bit about the sort of overall context of our steps moving forward.
So thank you, Omar. Expansion of the city's emergency housing system and sheltering system since 2020 has been quite significant. I think this slide will show you the level of activity we've been engaged in over the past couple of years, possibly unprecedented scope in terms of what the city has done in a short period of time. Given the challenges associated with unsheltered homelessness, the city has and continues to focus on numerous strategies to address the crisis, including emergency interim housing, hotel-motel conversions, and safe parking. This slide covers the full inventory of actions and projects initiated since 2020. The green bar represents 628 completed and open units in 8 projects across the city that are serving and sheltering people and families day and night now. The light blue bar represents another 475 units and spaces in 5 projects that are under construction or in development in our city currently. The Santa Teresa parking site is expected to open by the end of this month, and the Monterey Branham project is expected to open next spring. And the other projects, the hotel-motel conversions, are in the development and conversion process now. The dark blue bar represents a planned 142-bed expansion of the current Rue Ferrari EIH site that's in design, with contractors being currently sought through a pre-qualification process. A construction contract is expected to be brought before the council this fall to award and then begin the construction by the end of the year and complete it in 2024. The yellow bar is today's recommended actions. They account for another 350 units and spaces, assuming all the sites make it through the approval, leasing, and delivery phases. Finally, we have a set of sites, the gray bar, that were previously approved by the council that remain in the mix of potential future sites in the event that other sites fall through or after completion of these pipeline projects, the need still remains. We'll continually keep the mayor and council up to date on these projects as well, and the individual council members as we move forward and make any progress. I'm going to turn it back to Omar for this next slide about the Berryessa site.
We're now going to turn to the actual sites that are being considered after providing all of these pieces of background. The first to discuss is the Berryessa Road site. In September of last year, your Rules Committee took an action to prioritize for RV parking sites supported by council members within their district. In this instance, the Berryessa site is right on the border of Districts 3 and 4. As a result of that prioritization and the existing neighborhood preference, staff will be working to identify communities of RVs that can move together from within these areas. Once a community is moved to the supportive RV parking site or declines to move and relocates elsewhere, the area where the RV community was located on street would become an enforced no parking or no overnight parking zone. The specifics have yet to be worked out, but this is not merely shifting people from one on-street place to another, and instead is very focused on the support needed to ultimately get to a permanent home option. The current plan at this site is to remove as many barriers for people as possible, so staff will evaluate not requiring proof of registration or insurance, nor requiring that an RV be operational at the time that it is towed, to maximize utilization of this resource. As Jackie mentioned earlier, the site will have the same type of supportive services that are planned for the Santa Teresa location in South San Jose. As part of the due diligence, staff is conducting a range of environmental tests and will proceed only if it is determined that the site is appropriate. Now I'll turn it over to Kevin Ice to share information about the lease associated with this private site. Kevin?
Thanks, Omar. Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Ice, Senior Real Estate Manager with the Office of Economic Development. So we're going to take a brief pause in the presentation of item 8.4 to discuss item 8.5, which is authorization for the city manager to negotiate and execute a lease agreement for 10 years at 1300 Berryessa Road, and an associated approval of a negative declaration for construction of a supportive parking facility on the site. The total cost of the 10-year term is $18.9 million, inclusive of base rent and operating triple net expenses. Base rent is set at 39 cents per foot, escalating at 3.5% per year, which is in line and supported by other market lease comparables for industrial yard properties. Operating expenses are estimated at 11 cents per square foot. The site is 6.325 acres in size, currently a vacant industrial lot. Lease runs for 122 months, which includes a 10-year term plus 2 additional months of no base rent for July and August of this year. There's a 5-year option to extend the lease that is not authorized by today's actions and will require subsequent council authorization. The option would cost $12.69 million. The lease allows for development of a project to support unhoused individuals, which could be a supportive parking facility, other interim housing facilities such as bridge housing, tiny homes. However, the CEQA action up for council's approval today is for a supportive parking project, and any other uses would require subsequent CEQA authorization. Turning to risks of the lease, there will be a contingency period until July 31, 2023. The city has a health risk assessment underway, and results are currently expected mid-June. If the assessment determines that the property is unusable for temporary residences, then the city would terminate the lease. Also, additional soil testing would commence upon lease execution. If the testing determines that there is a health and safety risk precluding temporary residential uses, then the city would also terminate the lease. If the soils testing determines that there would be an increase in the cost of construction, such as from additional landfill disposal costs or contractor requirements, the landlord will pay for all such costs over $400,000. This is a change from the posted memo to the council and reflects a negotiated resolution of this issue that better reflects both parties' desire to successfully complete the lease agreement. The city will not have a right to terminate should the soil testing reveal greater than $300,000 in additional construction costs, as described in the memo, and instead, Terreno, the landlord, will bear all costs over $400,000. Additional risks include the city's indemnification of the landowner for all liabilities accruing from our use of the property, and potentially paying the landowner's legal fees in a dispute, both of which are commercially reasonable terms. With that, I'll pass the presentation back to Jim to continue discussion of item 8.4.
So thank you, Kevin. In March of this year, Governor Newsom and mayors in select big cities across the state, including Mayor Mahan, announced the state's Small Home Initiative. This effort, led and funded by the state of California, aims to develop and build 1,200 units in 4 cities across the state in San Jose, Los Angeles, San Diego, and Sacramento. The state determined that San Jose's allocation would be about 200 units. In terms of siting and development, the State Department of General Services is the lead agency. The state will be funding, procuring, and building 200 units in San Jose. The state's preference is to allocate all 200 to one site, but if that's not possible, having multiple sites available to receive units provides San Jose with the highest probability of receiving its full 200-unit allocation. Accordingly, staff is recommending the use of the previously approved VTA Cerrone site in District 4 and the newly recommended Valley Water Cherry Avenue site in District 9, with both sites capable of receiving 100 units each. And the Cerrone site, in fact, is much larger, and if the VTA was amenable, could receive all 200 units. The key will be VTA's willingness to move forward with some number of units. This slide provides a closer look at the staff recommended site for state small homes, the previously approved Cerrone site that was being considered for traditional EIH. The site is in Council District 4 on a large VTA site that has about 17 acres of currently undeveloped land off of Zanker Road, just south of Highway 237. The yellow outlined area represents a possible placement of the project on the southwest corner of the site. The original need for our planned emergency interim housing project was about 2 to 3 acres for about 100 units. If all 200 of the state's small homes were to be placed here, probably 6 or so acres would be needed. So work remains to be done with the VTA on the availability of the site. This slide also provides a closer look at the other staff recommended site for the allocation of state small homes, the Cherry Avenue site. The site is in Council District 9 on a modestly sized Valley Water property that has about 2+ acres of developable land between the Almaden Ranch Shopping Center and the Guadalupe River. The site is highlighted in orange. You can see it on the slide there. There's a kind of another unique and key part of this particular site and this particular project. As many of you probably know, encampments currently exist on the site and in the adjacent water resource areas, including along the Guadalupe River and around the percolation basins and in sensitive habitats. Valley Water is very interested in having the city develop interim housing on this site. They want to protect the water resource areas by prohibiting certain activities in those areas, such as camping, and having people in the encampments being able to be relocated into the interim housing, the future interim housing that would be very close by, a pretty easy move for people from a distance standpoint, and then ultimately into stable and permanent housing. So the green highlighted area would serve as a water resources protection zone from Blossom Hill in the south to Branham in the north, and I'll discuss more of that on the next slide. So, like I said, what is unique about this site in the area is the fact that Valley Water owns the property in this sensitive area, and they're willing to let the city use it for interim housing. Valley Water must protect the adjacent river, the percolation basins, and the habitat areas by prohibiting certain activities within the riparian corridor, such as camping. Within this area, both federal and state protected waterways exist, which requires those resources to be cared for and managed appropriately. And Valley Water's permit requires mitigation of impacts to these resources and habitats. Given these various conditions, opportunities, and requirements, the city and Valley Water have a unique opportunity to develop interim housing at this site to help relocate people from encampments and into future adjacent interim housing, and to formally and more effectively protect water and habitat resources and prohibit detrimental activities to the environment in this area. Control of the property, though, through a lease with Valley Water is needed, and creation of the Water Resources Protection Zone would be a partnership effort with Valley Water. So there is work to be done around the lease and the Water Resources Protection Zone. Figuring out how we would manage it and how we'd enforce it would be an important, critical, immediate next step if council approves us moving forward here. And finally, this site provides an opportunity to locate up to 100 of the state small homes using state funding. As we've all experienced, sites don't always make it all the way to the project completion and opening stage. So we think having backup sites, is a smart move, and that's what we're recommending here as well. This site recommends, as I discussed previously, our primary recommendation is to use the Cerrone and Cherry sites for the state small homes. However, if either of those sites don't ultimately work out, it's essential to have a backup site to ensure the city can take advantage of the tremendous and urgent opportunity the state is presenting to us to help address unsheltered homelessness, using state funding, having the state deliver the project. So staff is recommending that one of the Burnell Road north or south sites be the backup development site. To be clear, though, staff is and will work diligently to secure the recommended sites at Cerrone and Cherry before considering any pivots to backup sites, and the council would obviously be made aware if we aren't able to move forward on those sites. These sites are in Council District 2 on large Caltrans properties near and adjacent to Highway 101 and the 85 freeways and the connector ramps off of Burnell Road. Staff is recommending the backup sites in the event leases cannot ultimately be worked out with VTA and Valley Water, and having a place to site the 200 state small homes, given the state's funding them and delivering them, we think is critically important to address our urgent need. I have one more slide to complete the presentation. And this is an opportunity that came to us after our last discussion with the council in late March. After that discussion, John Sobrato, a local developer and philanthropist, reached out to Mayor Mahan to offer his undeveloped site at Villa del Oro and San Ignacio for a 5-year period before he intends to develop the site at no cost to the city to use for emergency interim housing. That site is in Council District 2. It's about 2+ acres. The mayor,
10, Council District 10.
Excuse me, 10. My notes say 10. Sorry about that, Mayor. That's what I've heard. Excuse me on that one. Thank you for the correction, Mayor. Mayor Mahan did refer Mr. Sobrato to Omar and myself to discuss the offer and determine if the site and the potential project was viable and practical. Staff has had numerous meetings with Mr. Sobrato and Dignity Moves, a nonprofit housing and shelter developer. The focus of the conversations have been on how to properly develop the site, the buildings, the utility connections, to do it in such a way to efficiently serve future residents, but to be able to move the project after a 5-year period and to do it in the most efficient and effective way possible. Dignity Moves and Mr. Sobrato are interested in providing donated sleeping units to the city as well, reducing our costs for this potential project. The city would be responsible for site preparation and community buildings and amenities, but given the 5-year limit at this location, staff recommends completing a cost-benefit analysis to determine if the investment and the ultimate closure and relocation of the site and buildings and amenities and relocating them is worth the benefit and the cost during that period of time. So we're in the process of framing that out, and we expect to complete it in the months of June and July and have that available for consideration by the council, the community, and the administration. And that's the end of my slides. Omar, I'll hand it back to you if you have anything to conclude with.
Mayor and Council, that's the end of our presentation. We stand here ready for comment or
Great.
questions.
Thank you so much. That was an excellent presentation, and I appreciate all the staff's work to bring forward these sites. We are running into a time constraint. That being said, I would like to know how many in-person comment cards we have.
I have one.
So what I'd like to do is begin public comment with the one in person. We'll then break for lunch and then return. When we return, we're going to pause this item so that we can get through our invocation and ceremonials, and then we will pick up the item after that.
Okay, George Carr.
I'm a longtime resident of San Jose. I've owned a home and lived in the Bay Area community for more than 40 years. All three of my children have gone through local schools. I'm very aware of the homeless impact within the Bay Area already, west of 680. Okay, that area is divided by two creeks, Penitentiary Creek and Coyote Creek, and you saw them on your map you put up there. Penitentiary Creek has a large overflow area for flood control, and Coyote Creek has a lot of space on either side of it. And both those areas are already heavily populated with homeless people. They've impacted the community. There's 2 strip centers. There's a new Safeway shopping center. They've disrupted business in all 3 of those locations, okay? When my kids grew up, they wandered over the creeks with their friends, built dams and whatnot. They went to the 7-Eleven store for Slurpees and whatnot. That doesn't happen anymore in our community. There are no kids on the street playing. Nobody's going to the kids aren't going to shopping centers by themselves. The homeless are in front of the 7-Eleven and the other strip centers, at the Safeway gas station. They're asking for money. They're approaching people. People are not going to those places. Safeway doesn't put any product out in the street anymore because of the theft. They used to have stuff at the gas station, pallets of sales items. Those are all gone. Even the wash stations, window washing stations have been stolen and gone, okay? You guys got to consider that site you have out there, across the street from that is the flea market, okay, across Coyote Creek. That's slated for heavy development in housing and commercial and R&D space, okay? What's going to be impacted that developer? Who's going to want to develop that space when you already have a small homes, the tiny homes, what do you want to call it, on Mulberry Road behind that site? Then you're going to put another site here for RVs, okay? They're going to be looking across that creek at that site. And I can sit here today and I feel very strongly about this. You're saying 75 to 85 RVs. That could equate to 400 people, plus the cars and traffics. Where are those people going to go, okay? I don't mean to insult anybody, but I have big doubts that this city will be able to maintain any kind of order and control that site. Once you get 75, 80 RVs in there, okay?
Thank you. Your time is up.
Time's up, okay.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to adjourn to lunch. Recess to lunch. We'll be, recess. We will be back at 1:30.